Good morning or good afternoon to all of our friends around Australia and, of course, New Zealand. Afternoon for you guys. My name's Dunk Richards, Sabre Education Haircare Manager. And today we've got our Lumi10 Power Hour, which is our Lumi10 Power Hour. So welcome, guys. For any questions, please feel free just to put them in the chat. With our Restream facility, it doesn't come up with your name, so please let me know if you want to put a name to it, or otherwise just pop your question in the Facebook chat there and I will be able to see it and bring it up from there. So guys, today is all about Lumi10 and the power of Lumi10, which has really been an absolute game changer for our industry. Of course, as we know, time is money and we need to make every minute count when we're in the salon. So the amazing thing with Lumi10 is that this is a new color category within the Lumishine range that gives us beautiful, long-lasting results in permanent color and, of course, covers 100% gray. So this gives us an amazing opportunity to really, have more clients that we can address in the salon and address those clients much more quickly. Hi for the comments. Hi for the people out there. Great to see everyone there. So thank you. Thanks for any more messages. So let's look inside. What makes Lumi10 so special? Number one, it's the quick coverage system. Of course, comparing 10 minutes to 35 minutes is huge. And it's this concentrated coverage system that allows us to get these incredible results. Now, the other thing is when we look inside it, is it also always has these amazing technologies that we found in our Lumishine range. So we, of course, have our bond-building Argiplex, which has been revolutionary in our Lumishine permanent and demi-permanent ranges. This is based on arginine, which is, of course, is that key amino acid, which provides repair to the hair shaft, replenishes the amino acids in the hair, but also allows us to reduce ammonia content. So it's really a really great key attribute to the Lumi10 range here. On top of that, we have our supercharged conditioner. So this is formulated with an extra high concentration of the supercharged conditioner. So even a higher concentration than is in our Lumi Permanent. So with that, and that will last up to 30 shampoos in the hair, longer if you're working and utilizing the likes of your K-Pack Color Therapy or your Joyful or your Joy Color, products to maintain the hair as well. On top of that, of course, we have our quadramine complex. And our quadramine complex, of course, gives us that protein reconstruction to repair the hair as we're coloring it. So with that, we're creating minimal damage, getting amazing color and repairing the hair all within a 10-minute period. A quick question, guys, here. So can you mix Lumi10 with Lumi Permanents? Great question. It would be great if we could share it across all of those ranges, but no, the answer is we can't. Lumi10 is a range that can only be used or mixed with other Lumi10 colors. So with that, you can mix within the Lumi10 range, but you can't mix it with, for example, Lumishine Permanent, or you can't mix it with DD creams or demi-liquids. They can be used alongside each other though. So if you're doing a Lumi10 retouch on a client, you can definitely use, for example, a Lumi Demi Liquid on the mid-lengths to ends to refresh or add a little bit of extra shine on those mid-lengths. Thanks for the question. From here, the power of 10. So here are 10 of the key benefits that you'll get when you work with the Lumi10 range. Number one, 100% coverage. So across the whole range, Lumi10 covers 100%. Doesn't matter if you're using the NW range, NWBs, the NGs, the new NV range or NWC. So these ranges are amazing and everything within it covers 100%. It's really easy to use. So with that, like with everything else in the Lumi10 range, it is a 1-to-1 mixing ratio and timing is 10 minutes. super easy. It has its own developer, so you only mix it with Lumi10 Accelerator, equal parts color, and away you go. 3, increased profits. You know, for you guys in the salon, of course, this allows you to turn over clients more quickly. So you have more flexibility in working with your customers. You've got, you know, for example, you could do 2 colors in the time it would take a normal 1 color. So, you know, really it's a great opportunity. Time, okay, that's simple, 10 minutes. What a difference for us as far as a retouch or refreshing color goes, to be able to do that in 10 minutes. And in doing that, number 5, it offers us more flexibility. So from there, we can fit customers in, for example, later in the day. You can fit customers in between clients. You can even do a color, for example, rather than having to, you know, wait for a processing time, you can simply apply your color. By the time you've cleaned off and cleaned up any brushes and things, you're pretty much ready to rinse it off. So it gives us great flexibility from there. Okay, number 6, it's an easy add-on service. So this now gives you flexibility when you're working with new customers, for example. Time is not an issue. You can add that in. This is also a great service for guys who don't want to be sitting in the chair in the salon for a long period of time, but they need some great blending through their hair, on their beard. This is a great option. You can, you know, really brush it on quickly with a brush. I love that sort of hit and miss technique that you'll use using more of a brush, not a color brush, but say a Denman or a spider brush, and you get that blend of coverage through there, and they only have to wait 10 minutes. It's fast, so quick and easy as a service for you in the salon is number 7. Of course, hand in hand. So this works with brush application on the scalp, not bottle application, sorry. But from there, you can, of course, utilize your other Lumishine shades, for example, for color balancing on mid-lengths to ends when you're working with it. So the shade categories range or equal up and are easily managed with the other shade categories in permanents, demi-liquids, or DD creams. So they're similar, that tonal quality, NWs, NWBs, etc. from there. Number 9, it's a compact inventory range. Currently, guys, we have 26 colors within the range, and that's with the addition of the new NCs and NBs in the range. So nice and compact, not too large, although we are getting requests for more shades in the range because people are loving it so much. So from there, do look out. There will probably be some new shades in the future. And of course, it's Joico Joy Color. It's color you can count on. You know that you're going to get the desired result, what you are wanting to achieve as an end result. So with that, like with all Lumishines permanents, DD creams or demi-liquids, it's super reliable for you from there. I've just got a question come up there as well. Sorry, that question was, are Lumi10 colors harder to, and I did have a second one there, remove from the hair? Guys, they are not harder to remove, but like all, for example, when you're working with deeper shades in any color line, for example, a level 1 to a level 5, it's really vitally important to make sure that you actually apply that color on color philosophy on removal. So prior to actually starting just to rinse that color after 10 minutes, always really emulsify that color into itself on the hairline prior to adding water. From there, that will help. Once you add water, it will allow it for you to remove it easily. So from there, yes, please always take that little tip. And from there, emulsify the color onto itself. If it's drying out a little bit, you feel, pull a little bit of color from back in the hairline and just really work it and work it and work it. You'll see it will lift off. Once you've done that, I would always like to get our stainless color remover and some cotton wool, dampen it, and again, go around that hairline area. That is the only thing. As far as normal removal from hair, it rinses out just as you would find Lumi Permanent Color rinses out as well. So thanks for the question there, guys. Just another question I've got here. Thank you. So here on the reserve with Rhiannon, loves the new NCs. Thank you, Rhiannon. We love them as well. We had great feedback on them. They're really nice and intense, rich, vibrant shades in those NCs. So yeah, enjoy it. Please post some pictures on our Say the Hair Care Facebook group, that private group. Please share with them what you've created with those looks and share those formulas. We would love to see them. Thanks, guys. Love the message. So overview on the palette of our range that we have in now in the Lumi10 range. So as I mentioned, we have now extended that range. New to it now are the new NCs and the new NBAs. So as I mentioned, those NBAs, they are fantastic with working with guys, particularly for blending. So a really great opportunity there. The new NCs, as Rhiannon mentioned there, love them, really rich, vibrant copper shades. From there, we have, of course, our NGs, our natural golds, and also two of the really popular ranges, I would say the next two, the NWB, so that's a warm beige, and then we have our NVs, which are a natural violet. So with both of those, that natural violet gives us that really nice, soft, cool tone, but it's not too cool. Where the NWB, everybody loves a beige, and this really allows you to give you a lovely flexibility between a natural to a gold. It's not too warm and not too cool. It sits in between there, and that softness of the beige tone. From there, we also have our natural ashes for the coolest tones there, and of course, our naturals, which of course, we're always going to be using naturals. Really popular, great, of course, across the range. And with each of those, remember, these are every shade in the range here covers grey. So 26 range shades across the range in the Lumi10, 10-minute coverage right across them all. So how does this happen? How does it, work that we can cover grey in 10 minutes? The secret, as it mentions, is in our quick coverage system. Features the ideal number or concentration of dyes and pigments to penetrate the hair within 10 minutes. And we like to point out, guys, this is done under conventional ammonia levels. So we know we have a reduced ammonia level in our Lumi10 Permanents. It's exactly the same in our Lumi10. So from there, you are not causing any more damage, no irritation. It's beautiful. I've had no complaints or concerns from anybody regarding irritation or anything. People love it. So the key thing is, unlike traditional permanent color, which has a steady delivery process, normally over that 35-minute period, the Lumi10 dyes being concentrated swoop into the hair faster. So when we're working with that, it won't compromise the integrity or the long-lasting results. You will find the results you will get from Lumi10 Permanent regarding longevity, integrity will be exactly the same with Lumi10, just in that shorter time period. From there as well, the other thing, and this is a great little demonstration of how it works. Traditional hair color is, for example, our orange line here. So it shows you how it has, from the time the color is applied over that 35-minute period, it's a gentle, sort of softer swooping and delivery system into the hair shaft. If you can imagine here, the Lumi10, it starts from a higher level, and that concentration of dyes allows it to feed and into the hair shaft much more quickly. And I would suggest, guys, it's not only the concentration of dyes, but it's also in combination with our Lumi10 accelerator, which is a 22 volume. So really, that's a really key area to work on with that and be aware of. And that's how it gets this great deposit in a super quick time. I like to compare it to, for example, if you're at a ski field and you're on the gentle beginner slope, you will sort of slide down that hill very slowly, which allows you a lot of control. If you're a more experienced skier, you will go up to the higher slopes on the mountain, for example, a black or a blue run, which they are much steeper and they will send you down the mountain much more quickly. So, that will get you to that place faster. And that's really how that Lumi10 system works. I have got another question here, which I'd just like to bring up. And that is, what are your tips and tricks when using this color? To example, preventing banding or going too dark. Great question. Because it is a 10-minute processing time and it does deposit the color into the hair very quickly, application is vitally important. So with that, the key things I always point out is when preparing for the color, really pre-section your client's hair out. So have them caped up, ready to go. Pre-section their hair out firstly, and from there have everything ready to go on your trolley prior to actually mixing the color. Once you've mixed the color, then work through with, I tend to suggest, rather than working with a larger brush, work with a small or a medium-sized brush. This will ensure you can be a little bit more accurate in your application. So with that, it is important not to overlap with this color, because we all know color on top of color will go darker. So in ensuring that, I would always suggest from there, prepare so you can apply reasonably quickly. If you're somebody who doesn't apply to very quickly, maybe even get somebody to assist so two people can jump onto that application and work through it, and you can cross-check each other's work when you go there. You know, just pick up on something that you might not have. But a key thing is be prepared, work in a process. So have your quadrants planned out so that, you know, that's prepared to go. Use a smaller brush. Don't use too large a brush. The larger the brush, the more likely you are to apply in areas you don't want to. So you can be more accurate that way. I will also offer some tips at the end of the presentation on how you can formulate to ensure you're not going too dark in those areas as well. Thanks for the question. So this is our Lumi10 accelerator, which I mentioned in the previous slide. The accelerator is actually a 22 volume. We know we usually use 20 volume for gray coverage. This is a 22 volume, so very close, optimum for gray coverage, but also it's that extra little developer strength that actually really allows that pushing and accelerating of the color delivery system into the hair. So Lumi10 accelerator is the only accelerator, of course, we can use with our Lumi10 products. So Lumi10 accelerator, Lumi10 color, 1-to-1 mixing ratio, and you can't go wrong there. So with that previous question, here's where it is a couple of little tips there. So we've got scenario 1 here, and this was actually by Ricardo Santiago, who's one of our Joico International artists. And particularly, Ricardo did a lot of development work when we were working with Lumi10 in its infancy. And one of the key things we certainly worked with is how to go about ensuring that, you know, even if you're not a super fast applicator of color, what is a great way to work through and make sure your colors don't go too dark. So in this scenario, we have a client who is 75% gray, previously colored. Most of the gray was in the front. Formula 1 here, which is the front. So this hair was sectioned out from the crown to the ears, and of course, in a quadrant fashion to the front hairline and to the nape. In the front area from the crown forward, the formula was 4N, okay, with, of course, Lumi10 dedicated accelerator. Now, Ricardo will agree he is not the fastest applicator when it comes to applying color. So from there, when he's had his color mix there ready to go, he has had a second color ready to go for the back area, which is 3N and the Lumi10 dedicated accelerator. So he's gone, his target level is actually at the back. The level he's applied to the front is 1 level lighter than his target. The reason being is, yes, if you leave this color on longer than 10 minutes, it certainly can go 0.5 to 1.5 shades deeper if it's left on longer. So from there, because Ricardo isn't super fast in his application, he certainly goes, okay, I'll use, for my first application, I'll go slightly lighter. That way I know by the time I've finished, it will have gone a touch deeper from there because I'm going to be leaving it on past the 10-minute processing time. And that's a great way to work around that formula. Just another question here again. Okay, is there any other significance in using Accelerator Developer other than the strength? With that, certainly the strength is the main thing that that is designed to work with it to give you that deposit. Certainly, I would always say that these products are scientifically, chemically put together to work and enhance with each other. So from there, they are stabilized, they are buffered to ensure that you get the correct results from a performance point of view, from a conditioning point of view. So with working with the accelerator, trying to formulate a 22 volume, number one, I think would be extremely difficult. From there, doing it then scientifically is, this has an absolutely perfect developer strength for you. So, I would certainly suggest from there, is there other differences? There may be very slight differences. I would have to check that for you. But certainly from there, getting to a 22 volume would be quite difficult. And that is the optimum to ensure you get the deposit in the time that you will. If any other developer was used with Lumi10, we wouldn't be able to guarantee the results or performance that you're trying to achieve from there. So I hope that answers that question for you. A second formulation from Ricardo here. And this was for a client who was 100% grey and wants a shadow root. So with that 100% grey coverage. So for this look, to really soften the lightened hair, which he's working through, he used a 6N plus a 7N, half and half, with the dedicated developer. And you can see there that result from the after image there, a beautiful result, that 6 to 7 look, and it really, again, has completely covered that grey and blended it into the blonde area from there. So again, working through, this is where utilizing this for root shadows or different services are great. And we're going to come across new services we'll talk about here now as well as to how you can use Lumi10. So this is our service menu, which we like to share with you to give you some ideas on different things that you might want to do with Lumi10. So number one, of course, great coverage in half the time, which means more customers for you, more revenue, and for the client, they don't have to sit in the chair for as long. So, when I've had customers have Lumi10, they're immediately wanting to come back because time is more and more valuable for us. And we're finding that now. Often people want to be in and out the salon. If they can get the same resultant performance of color, but in half the time or a quarter of the time, that's something that they're really interested in. They would really love to do. So it's a really great option. So that provides you with an option of an on-the-go retouch. Okay, working through from here, it allows you to apply really quickly. And particularly, let's say you had somebody who only wanted to come in for a T-section. Wow, that client can be in and out literally in 15 minutes. So it's a really quick service that you can offer for a customer there. Of course, we've also got the lighten and brighten, remembering that we are working with a 22 volume here when we're utilizing Lumi10. So therefore, you'll find you can lift 1 to 2 levels. Now, 2 levels would definitely be a maximum that you would lift there. Generally, I would suggest we do predominantly use Lumi10 for mainly deposit and grey coverage, but there is that option for a really quick lighten and brighten option there. Of course, on top of that, working through here, we have our instant root shadow, which of course is a great option that we can work through and do that. And also working through with face framing touch-up. So this is the face framing touch-up is an option of maybe you can do a quick touch-up with a few foils around the hairline to lighten and brighten around the face and give more that face framing option. So they're getting a little bit of lightening and brightening along with their roots touched up there as well. So some great options there that will allow you to really extend your services in the salon. Of course, potential revenue, and we've talked about it in this presentation earlier. Of course, Making the most of our time in the salon is vital. And this really allows us to do that. So for example, if we looked at an option for, and we've just really done this as a generic number, so it's easy for people to see and understand, but you could adapt your figures at home to this as well in the salon. But let's say you were charging $75 for a cut and style, $75 for a color, being a Lumi10 color. For an average booking, 2 hours, and an 8-hour working day, that would allow you to book 4 appointments. And that, I think for most hairdressers would find that would be a very relaxed day. On that, 4 appointments booked per day, that would certainly allow you $150. That's $600 a day. 5 days a week, that would be $3,000 a week just for doing 4 cut and color services a day. And I'm sure most of you would all agree that that would be really, you would probably squeeze a lot more in than that, particularly with a 10-minute color. Now, we transfer that into a weeks and year, and that would equivalent into a 48 weeks, allowing for 4 weeks holiday. That's $144,000 in your pocket for the year, for what you've actually done, just doing 4 cut and colors a day. Now, of course, transfer that to your figures, guys, and I'm sure you're going to get some great results and something you could really look forward to and give yourself some nice incentives maybe to work forward to as far as doing more, and maybe you'll go on a holiday or a new car or a house or something, or just something that you enjoy and a nice reward. Of course, guys, this is now one of the columns of our 5 products within the Lumi10 portfolio. So of course we have our Lumi10 Permanent, which is in the orange segment there, mixed with 10, 20, 30 or 40 volume Lumi10 Developer, and can also be mixed with 5 volume. That is our Lumi10 Permanent. Covers grey, lifts and deposits. On top of that, next to us the next segment across, which is more the yellow gold or yellow to orange segment, is our Youth Lock range. So our Youth Lock range is permanent color, designed to cover grey and also reverse the signs of aging in hair. So reverse those signs of wiry hair and lack of shine. And of course, gives us 100% grey coverage. And it is mixed with 20 volume Developer. Next is, of course, in the blue is our Lumi10, of which we've been through today, and that's that third column of permanent color within the range. From there, in the red column here, along next to it, we have our demi liquids. Our Lumi10 demi liquids give you a beautiful gloss and glaze with brilliant shine and brilliant reflect. They're a liquid application mixed with our 5 volume Developer. So they're a really nice quick application, super glossy, easy to use. Now customers love those ones as well. Beautiful results. It is a deposit only demi permanent color and it's ammonia free. So a great thing to be working with. On top of that, we then have the last column of which is the gray or purpley gray is our DD creams. And these are a demi permanent deposit only cream that are also mixed with our Lumi10 5 volume Developer. The DD creams will give you a more concentrated deposit of color. So on a level 1 to 5, they will also cover grey, and on level 6 and above, they will blend grey. But for depositing into hair, for doing low lighting, or if you want something that's going to be that little bit of a longer lasting demi-permanent color, they're a great option for us there. So guys, with that, of course, everything in the Lumi10 portfolio range there is a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. So super easy to work with. Only the timings will change and developers depending on which category of hair color you're working with. This information, guys, is of course also on our Joico website. If you go to joico.com.au and go to professional color, you can download all of the Lumi10 guides on there, the shade guides, the color charts, and everything for you to access that information. So guys, here is just a QR code. So if you're looking here, please feel free to scan this QR code. It'll take you straight to that website I talked about, giving you your information on Lumi10 color from there. And from there, of course, you can access all of the information on our other ranges. So guys, please feel free to jump on our Sabre Hair Care page for hairdressers, our Facebook page, share your formulas, share your results that you've been achieving with Lumi10 and all of our other beautiful LumiShine ranges, so as others can look into the beautiful work that you're doing. Thank you for today. Any questions, please feel free again to jot them down on our Sabre Facebook page there as well. And we'll look forward to seeing you in our next Power Hour. Bye, guys.